Be wary of poisonous relationships. Now, sometimes as you start to make progress and better yourself, colleagues, friends, and even family can start to subconsciously try to sabotage your progress. As you start to make progress or taking steps to improve yourself, you make changes to your nutrition, you start to increase your exercise. Oftentimes, people get insecure or threatened by the progress or the positive steps that you're making. When this behavior starts to happen, it often shows itself in signs of, people sort of making fun of you for exercising, or really pointing out the fact that you're eating some sort of food that doesn't, go with what you normally would. For example, there might be, pizza night or something like that, and you make the choice to only eat 1 or 2 slices of pizza, or you make the choice to eat some form of healthier food, in which they'll make the comment, "Oh, you're eating chicken again, are you?" Or, "Oh, so what, you're gonna be unsociable, are you? Not gonna join in pizza night?" Now, when people do this, they're undertaking sabotaging behavior because they're threatened or insecure about the fact that you're making positive steps to better yourself. They're almost subconsciously jealous about the fact that you're making these steps. They wish that they could make those steps themselves, and they're insecure about the fact that you're making the change. Now, this can also apply in relationships with friends, family, and even partners. Partners especially can be subconsciously threatened by the fact that you might be starting to look a bit more physically attractive, or starting to mentally feel more confident about yourself, in the sense that that you might realize that they're not worthy, or you might attract more attention from the opposite sex. So what do you have to do in this situation? Now, there's a few different ways you can go about it. Now, when it comes to colleagues, it's a little bit easier because, you don't spend as much time with them, you can avoid them a bit better, and it's a bit easy to say, "Look, mate, I don't want the cookies. Look, mate, I don't want the pizza, just back off." When it comes to friends and family, now this gets a little bit tougher because you may have a lot closer relationship with these people, and it might even be a little bit painful to you, the fact that they're not in full support of your changes. Now, this is where, if it becomes a regular thing, you have to pull them aside and you have to tell them honestly how much these changes mean to you, how much you're looking to improve yourself, and how better you feel for it. Oftentimes, your friends and family don't even realize that they're sabotaging your progress. So if you bring this up, sometimes they'll be completely surprised and completely apologetic. They'll recognize the mistakes and the sabotaging behavior that they're doing, will then start to support your behavior, or should pull back in regards to the negative behavior. Now, the other way that your friends can take it is they can get defensive. They can tell you that you're being stupid, that you're being dramatic, and that what you're saying isn't true. Now, when it gets to this point, it gets very difficult because they obviously don't see the behaviors that they're doing to cause you stress and cause you pressure to make negative choices. This is where, if it continues, you may have to consider cutting that friendship off. And this isn't because it's anyone's fault, it's just because you and your friend used to be on the same wavelength. Now you're on a different wavelength. You're on a different level. You're at a point where you want to better yourself and your friend just can't get with it. Now, if you do have to cut that friendship off, it can be painful at first. This could be a long-time friend of yours, but in the long run, you'll be better for it. You have to make that choice. Do you want to better yourself, or do you want to be brought back down to your friend's level? When it comes to family though, this is where it gets very difficult because it's not like you can cut them out of your life. In this case, if you've been upfront and you've been honest and you've told your family member or members that you want to make these changes, you're very passionate about these changes, and you'd appreciate it if the sabotaging behavior stopped, or you'd appreciate it if they could give you their full support, yet they don't change. That's something you'll just have to deal with. You may have to avoid spending as much time with that family member. This is just where you're going to have to do your best to put up with that behavior as best you can. Something you'll have to deal with by individual basis, but sometimes you have to think about what's best for you. If someone can't support you in bettering yourself, that's not your problem. That's their problem, okay? That is their problem. And if they can't get over their insecurities, that's not your fault. Sometimes when you're bettering yourself, you have to leave some people behind. That's just the way it is. Thanks for listening, guys. Train smart. I'll catch you later.